Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Here in this video, we're going to go over something I think is pretty important to basically everyone watching this video, including myself. This is when I think some kind of squeeze event could actually take place. Now, there's two different ways, if you will, a squeeze can happen with AMC. One of them is no doubt coming at some point, right? It's no doubt. It's not something that is really up for debate too much. The second thing is second way is a little more unpredictable, and we need to see AMC do a couple of things in particular to get a squeeze event via that path, if you will. So that's what we're going to get into here in this video. I do want to provide a timeline on what I expect is going to transpire over the next coming days, weeks, and months for AMC stock, and maybe what is a good idea to do right now. Now, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not related to you. Like, don't take my word for, anything. It's like, I just don't, right? It's always going to be a bad idea if you listen to someone on a YouTube video and run out and go make crazy big trades, right? It's never going to be a good idea. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the meat and bones of this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. So first things first, two different ways that we get some kind of squeeze event. The first one is pretty atypical from what I think a lot of people's perspective is of what a squeeze could be or how a squeeze could happen with AMC. That is, say AMC's business keeps improving kind of the same way that it is. Things continuously get better over the next coming quarters. But if we also got good news, right? Like some upside surprises, we got, more good news. And the business just fundamentally right now, you can make the argument that fundamentally AMC is probably undervalued. But that's not enough to cause an actual squeeze event. You need some form of good news. You also, at this point, need AMC to stop diluting shareholders. They, in theory, you need some kind of guidelines. Like, we're not going to dilute shareholders for the next 6 months, 12 months. We're not going to dilute shareholders until 2025, something along those lines. And that could give you that upside momentum with AMC stock. That would be the first kind of way that I would expect to get some form of squeeze event, more organically, I guess, if you will. I think AMC has a power that is hard to quantify. A lot of people know AMC. If they don't know AMC, they've really haven't been in the markets. You must be a new investor. So anyone that really has been in the markets for a long time, anyone that got into the markets during the Rona time period, I know a lot of people did back in 2020. I think it is something that everyone knows about. So there is always going to be a certain degree of publicity, of attention, and prospective buyers on the sideline. That doesn't mean everyone is out there buying AMC. That's not what that means. That means that if AMC starts to show signs of a potential squeeze, starts to show signs of an uptrend, there's more people than your average stock that are going to look at and or buy AMC. I think that's a well-known fact at this point. It's not just you guys. If you've been in the markets for a while, let's say you're a retail investor, you have nothing to do with AMC. Well, you remember what happened. You know what can happen. And if you start to see AMC, let's imagine AMC was up 30% right now. There's going to be a lot of people that are looking at AMC a little bit differently because we already know what the stock can do. Now, you also have other different things. This rule change that is going into effect here, it should already be in effect, but it's going to take a while for the data to get aggregated on short selling. So we're going to get a lot more details on who is shorting what, how much they are short, how long they've been short, what kind of collateral has been used. We're going to get all kinds of hopefully new information. We're going to know what kind of broker dealer is facilitating what trades. all kinds of different things. So that will be exciting, and I think that could cause some upside pressure as well. I think that could get some people excited. That's more in line with what you would expect a typical short squeeze to take place. That would be good news. You could probably expect some kind of an upside move, and I think that is going to happen some point in 2024. Now, the second way that you get a squeeze event in AMC, I think, is a little bit more under the surface that a lot of people are not considering. This is not an alternative to a organic squeeze, but this is something that could maybe change the market environment and cause AMC to go up just because of that. Now, could the stock double or triple off of this? Yes. Is the stock going to go to $400 off of this? No. So there is definitely differences here. But I think this one is more of a no-brainer. And that is, as rates start to come down or get close to coming down, capital is going to flow into small, mid-cap stocks, interest rate-sensitive companies. You know that. Capital is going to flow into well-known household names, businesses that have been improving over the past 2 years. AMC fits that bill perfectly. So I think there's certain areas of the markets, like mega cap tech, that obviously did not see the same drag as small and mid caps. Just money flowing into, let's say, IWM, for an example, your Russell 2000 index. A portion of that money is going to go into AMC. Most investors today are index level investors, index fund investors. A lot of big money just buys index funds, because they obviously want to, track the index if they're managing other people's money. So let's say $100 goes into IWM or the Russell 2000. I believe it's like 2%, maybe 3%, $2 or $3 out of that $100 is going to go right into AMC. So as the market dynamic does change into, let's buy interest rate sensitive names, AMC will benefit off of that alone. And it's not going to take a whole lot of money at, AMC's point to actually get a substantial rally from here. Just thinking about AMC's value prospectively is kind of crazy to think. Elon, for an example, could buy AMC 100 times over again. The value of AMC is pretty dang low. The market cap is around $1 billion, 1.3 billion or so. So it's not going to take that much money going into AMC. $50 million will do a lot. $100 million, $200, $300 million is going to do a lot for AMC's share price. And I think that's prospectively what we are looking at over the next coming months. That's more of a month thing. That's not like a day by day or week by week thing by itself. It's more of a trend that has already started. This is something I've called the great shift of capital. This is not a new concept for anyone that views this channel. This is something we've talked about many times now. Now, my timeline for this is really all of 2024. I think you're going to get a lot more of this in the second quarter of 2024. You're also going to get a good chunk of money positioning towards the end of December in January as well, because everyone wants to position for 2024. What's going to do well next year? Doesn't matter what did well this year. What did well this year is not going to do as well as interest rate sensitive names, small caps next year. And we've seen the IWM call volumes have been off the freaking charts, right? You've seen a lot of activity here. This is from the trading community. I was watching one of Jeremy's videos, and they were showing this on CNBC. Look at the call options activity. Very, very high. Kind of ridiculous, right? It's the highest we've seen in years, many, many years. So I do think these factors will come together and will really help to push AMC stock higher. This is more just organic markets, if you will. I don't know if shorts are going to cover off of this, but could AMC double or triple? Absolutely. Could it go up more than that? At this point, yeah. If AMC is $6 per share and it's substantially undervalued, as long as we don't get any dilution, there's really no telling how high AMC could go at this point. So I do want to, let you guys keep that in mind, but this is not financial advice. This is kind of what I'm thinking now, or maybe the shorts have an off day and they start covering on positions for whatever reason or another. I don't know when that could happen. That could happen tomorrow. That could happen next week, next month. It could be 2 years from now. I don't know. But the one thing I do know is 2024 is probably going to be good for AMC just by itself due to money going into small cap stocks. Again, a portion of that money is going to go into AMC. Now, with that said, we already talked about this new rule change that has went into effect that we'll start to get aggregated data on this in 2024. I do think the short position is a lot higher in reality than what we're actually seeing here with the numbers. So if you believe these numbers from Vortex, you do not want to be in long positions in AMC for reasons of a short squeeze. For the market dynamics, just money going into small caps, that could make sense. But then again, you have dilution fighting against us at the same time. So if you believe these numbers, you definitely do not want to be in AMC to begin with. You have 10.04% short interest of free float, $135.36 million worth of short positions, days to cover 0.93. Short interest, meaning just the amount of shares currently sold short, 19.85 million shares. Shares out on loan, 11.37 million. Cost to borrow, 1.13%. Utilization of 26.33%. And a short score of 53.4 out of 100. So again, not the most crazy squeezy numbers here. But I think the short position is in the hundreds of percents for AMC stock. So I'm not in the 10% short interest camp, or I mean, there'd be no point in making these videos, right? There would be no ultimate outcome, no end goal to AMC besides AMC diluting shareholders until the stock is, struggling to stay listed on the markets. That would be the other alternative if you believe AMC is only 10% short. Just to be honest with you guys. Now, this week, we did not see what could have been a gamma squeeze. We had a lot of option activity. It just did not materialize. I think a lot of that is we did have our big economic data coming out on Friday, so the markets didn't want to take any crazy move up or down leading into that. Looks like today's data reports came out much better than expectations. We talked about this in depth in the last video, but non-farms beat by about 20,000 jobs, which shows we're not going into a recession. Unemployment rate went to 3.7%. Very hard to argue we're going into a recession when the unemployment rate just fell from 3.9 to 3.7%. And probably the most interesting, exciting thing of all is the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey. The inflation expectations on the 5-year plummeted, and the 1-year just got wrecked, right? 1-year inflation expectations went from 4.5% to 3.2% or 3.1%. Just fell off of a literal cliff. Like, it just really doesn't even make too much sense. Yeah, it went from 4.5% to 3.1%. 5-year inflation expectations went from 3.3% to 2.8%. That's not a move that you typically see. So that was also exciting. And I do think you got to remember, the markets care about a recession more than anything else. So you want to see good economic data. You do not want to see the economy going down the toilets into a recession heading into 2024. The odds of a rate cut did get pushed out to May. As of today, you are no longer pricing in a rate cut in March, with about a 3% difference, 3% higher odds of getting a pause in through March instead of a rate cut. So nothing too crazy there. You are firmly expecting the first rate cut now in May. That's more in line with what a lot of people are expecting as well on the analyst side. So that was probably destined to happen regardless. So there you have that. Option activity for the day today. It looks like you had one order totaling $52,000 with a positive order value of 0%. You did see a March 15th, 2024 $7 put worth $52,000. So yeah, not a whole lot of hedge fund and institutional option activity today. Really not surprising considering it is a Friday. Now, as far as the volume you've seen today, about a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 times as many calls bought today compared to puts. You had volume of 72.33% to the call side and 27.67% volume to the put side. So definitely looking pretty good. AMC is still having a pretty good day today as well, up 1.32% at the time of recording this video. But I do think over the next coming weeks, even heading into 2024, don't be surprised when you see the general outperformance of the IWM, of small cap stocks, as money does come back into our markets and position into interest rate sensitive names. That's something I'm expecting. Again, it is kind of hard to forecast when exactly a lot of money is going to come into our markets, but I do think at probably by Q2, you're going to see billions of dollars and billions of dollars flowing into small cap stocks, potentially on a daily basis. We usually see like $2 to $4 billion go in or out of IWM, Russell 2000 on any given week basis, right? That's net. So 2 to 4 billion of net inflows or outflows every week. You could see double or triple that starting probably by Q2 of 2024, and that's going to pull a lot of money into AMC. Even if people don't want to buy AMC specifically, if they're buying IWM, if they're buying the Russell, they're also going to be buying AMC stock, guys. So that is going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think, what your timeline is, what your expectations are down below in the comment section. If you made it to the end of this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Consider sharing this video with a friend as well. Now, to what I said in the beginning of the video, I do want to acknowledge this. If you do have a large position in AMC, if you're at the point you just want to, break even on your shares, get out of the trade, or just hold it, wait for a squeeze, do your thing that way, you don't have to continue to buy AMC. I think at this point, buying AMC, just one investor themselves, really does nothing, right? You need some kind of event. You need the markets opening up, capital flowing into our markets, or, you buying stock is really not going to do anything, right? So if you want an alternative, other small cap stocks really look attractive right now. Fubo, SoFi, PayPal, even though they're not a small cap stock, they are a granny shot according to Tom Lee and Fundstrat, meaning that, even your grandma throwing a bowling ball down the lane is going to hit something. It means it's not expected to get a strike, but you're going to hit something with the gutters up, right? So that's a good example or analysis of PayPal in a nutshell. So those are some names that I really do like. Snapchat has had some really good news recently, some good upgrades from analysts. Crocs is a good name. Dollar General is a good name. You know of these companies. You know of every company I just mentioned, unless you live under a rock or you just got internet access or something, right? So yeah, those are the kind of names you probably want to be in 2024. If not, something like an AMC as well is going to benefit, but I know a lot of people have just been buying AMC for a long time. They're sick of it. Maybe you want to diversify your portfolio a little bit. You don't have to sell AMC. You just start buying something else here and there. It'll diversify your portfolio out over time. And I think time is a beautiful thing when it comes down to investing. So let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.